Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence. United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2050 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat 2047. In collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are celebrating and commemorating International Day of Remembrance and Tribute to the Victims of Terrorism. United by Hope, Collective Action for Victims of Terrorism, the theme for 2025. Acts of terrorism propagating a wide range of hateful ideologies continue to injure, harm, and kill thousands of innocent people each year. Despite international condemnation of terrorism, victims and survivors of terrorism often struggle to have their voices heard, their needs supported, and their rights upheld. Victims often feel forgotten and neglected once the immediate aftermath of a territorial attack fades with profound consequences for them. So few member states have the resources or the capacity to fulfill the medium and long-term needs of the victims of terrorism to enable them to fully recover, rehabilitate, and reintegrate into society. Most victims can only recover and cope with their trauma through long-term multidimensional support, including physical, psychological, social, and financial. So member states have the primary responsibility to support victims of terrorism and uphold their rights. The United Nations has an important role in supporting member states to implement the UN Golden Counter-Terrorism Strategy by standing in solidarity and providing support to the victims of terrorism, offering capacity building assistance, establishing networks, and offering support to civil society organizations, particularly victims associations, and encouraging member states to promote, protect, and respect the rights of victims of terrorism. The United Nations provide technical assistance and capacity building to member states and victims associations in better addressing the needs of victims of terrorism. So in the resolution 72 by 165, 2017, The General Assembly established the International Day of Remembrance of and Tribute to the Victims of Terrorism to be commemorated annually on 21st August in order to honor and support the victims and survivors of terrorism and to promote and protect the full enjoyment of their human rights and fundamental freedoms. In April 2020, mandated by General Assembly, Resolution 73 by 305, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres published his report on the progress of the UN system to support member states in assisting victims of terrorism, Resolution 74 by 790, which calls for the enhancement of international cooperation to assist victims of terrorism. Member states, though the biannual review resolutions of the Global Counterterrorism Strategy, have emphasized the important role of victims of terrorism in countering terrorism, promoting international solidarity, preventing violent extremism, and helping member states recognize and uphold their human rights and support their distinct needs. Since the 16th review of the strategy 2018, developments at the international, regional, and national levels have increasingly demonstrated that support to the victims have moved beyond symbolic solidarity towards a more robust engagement to advance their rights and needs. This is reflected in the establishment in 2019 a group of friends of victims of terrorism and the adoption of General Assembly Resolution 73 by 305 on the enhancement of international cooperation to assist victims of terrorism. So that 8th review resolution adopted on 22nd June 2023 notes the importance of upholding the rights and supporting the needs of the victims of terrorism, in particular of women, children, and those affected by sexual and gender-based violence committed by terrorists. It encourages all member states to develop national comprehensive assistance plans for victims of terrorism and their families to address the immediate short and long-term needs of the victims of terrorism. The resolution welcomed the first United Nations Global Congress of Victims of Terrorism held in September 2022 at UN headquarters, encouraged the UN Office of Counterterrorism through the Global Victims of Terrorism Support Program and the United Nations Victims of Terrorism Support Portal to continue to raise awareness on the victims of terrorism and the promotion of protection of their rights. This includes strengthening the capacity of member states to assist victims of terrorism and strengthen their engagement with relevant civil society and private sector organizations, which can play a valuable role in assisting and supporting victims of terrorism. So the United Nations Office of Counterterrorism, UNOCT, was established in 15 June 2017 through the adoption of UN General Assembly Resolution 71 by 291. Mr. Vladimir Voronko was appointed as its first Under Secretary General by providing secretarial support, UNOCT working together with the members of United Nations Global Counterterrorism Coordination Compact to prevent and counter terrorism and the underlying spread of violent extremism. The support portal is dedicated to and highlights the importance of those individuals across the globe that has been attacked, injured, traumatized, or lost lives during the terrorist attacks. We reflect on the pain and suffering of those who lost the loved ones, and we resolve to listen to them and learn from them. We commit to support survivors scared by heinous acts of terrorism by amplifying their voices, protecting their rights, and seeking justice. Today is also commemorated as Internet Self-Care Day on August 21st in US, which is celebrated each year on August 21st. This day is dedicated to using the internet to find resources that can help you take care of yourself. Many of us are so preoccupied with taking care of others, whether at work or home, that we forget to take care of ourselves. Self-care is described as caring for oneself through practices that promote health and active management of illness when it strikes. There are many ways to regularly practice self-care through food choices, exercises, sleep, and dental care. For example, when we talk about our bubble bath rituals and me time, we frequently overlook that self care has ancient roots and radical history. The term self care was formed or created in the 1950s. It was initially intended to express how institutionalized people could develop a feeling of self worth via actions of self care and preservation. In the 1960s, thanks to the civil rights activists, primarily the Black Panther Party, the phrase went from the medical community to the general public. Self care became famous as a way to combat activist fatigue. In a 2018 Afropunk interview, civil rights activist Angela Davis remarked, for a long time, activists did not necessarily think it mattered to take care of themselves in terms of what they eat, mental self care, cultural self care, spiritual self care. For example, the famous 10-point program by Panthers outlined by co founders Huey Newton and Bobby Seale in 1966 included self defense as a fundamental component. Consequently, medical racism has gained a greater focus by the time the 10-point program was revised in 1972. The Black Panther Party's image as violent warriors arose from the need to protect the health of Black people, and the activists Audre Lorde accentuated the interconnection of self care and the civil rights in her book, A Burst of Light and Other Essays, which has since become a philosophy for the Black's female identity. Today, the self care market is worth an estimated $10 billion, accounting for a substantial share of beauty industry. Today is also commemorated as National Brazilian Blowout Day on August 21st in US. It is a celebration that commemorates that well-known hair straightening procedure. Even though the Brazilian blowout has just lately acquired popularity, it has been present since 1980s. Brazilian hair straightening trends have included several variations of the same technique. The blowout treatment, which originated in Brazil, has helped many ladies maintain their hair silky throughout the hot summer months. For up to 3 months, ingredients from the nation are employed to keep the hair bright. The National Brazilian Blowout Day was first celebrated in August 2014. Since then, the special hair treatment has gained more popularity. The procedure has also been enhanced. Professional stylists are in charge of inspecting your hair and deciding on the treatment you will receive. On this day, there's even more awareness of your hair. Many spend the day learning about ways to maintain and improve the health of their hair. It is also a day when many people decide to hang out at the shop of their favorite stylist. Hair treatment is in high demand, especially during the long hot summer months. This is because the intense sun can easily influence the hair, causing it to frizzle. Many people can have procedure from their certified stylist on National Brazilian Blowout Day. Today is also commemorated as National Report Upcoming Fraud Day on August 21st. An initiative by Joel Hesk, a former attorney with the Department of Justice. Hesk and a passionate advocate for whistleblowers created a day for anyone looking to report healthcare fraud. He wanted to make it easier so everyone could get the process right. The day generates awareness and detailed steps on how the general public can report unethical healthcare providers. Fraudsters siphon off $65 billion each year in medical care fraud through inflated reimbursement claims. Upcoding is one of the most rampant types of healthcare fraud that must end. Hest draws on his 15 years as an attorney in the Department of Justice to support and encourage whistleblowers to come forward. The most successful claims have two things in common: facts and the use of proper reporting channels. National Report Upcoding Fraud Day aims to empower anything with a legitimate case for claims. Today is also commemorated as National Senior Citizens Day in US. Do you have an elderly person in your life and that you love and appreciate? National Senior Citizens Day, August 21st, is the day to let them know how much you care, and it is the opportunity to recognize their accomplishments. In 1988, President Ronald Reagan proclaimed this holiday to raise awareness about issues that affect senior citizens and their quality of life. Today, seniors are still active in their communication as well as continuing to have a strong presence in the workforce for all they do and they have achieved for the good of their communities. Senior citizens deserve our thanks. National Senior Citizens Day recognizes seniors who have spent their lives contributing to the society and have impacted everyone's lives for the better. Improved healthcare has changed demographics and increased productivity of older citizens, allowing them to be more active than ever before, with more opportunities available as well. Many senior citizens now begin second careers and are an example of younger generations. The country's foundation and stable sectors are the result of the hard work of our senior citizens, and they deserve all our gratitude. President Ronald Reagan took the initiative to honor seniors in 1988 when he signed Proclamation 5847 and marked August 21st as a day seniors will be celebrated. Throughout our history, older people have achieved much for our families, our communities, our country. That remains true today and gives an ample reason this year to reserve a special day in honor of the senior citizens who mean so much to our land. Reagan proclaimed for all they have achieved throughout life and for all they continue to accomplish, we owe older citizens our thanks and a heartfelt salute. We can best demonstrate our gratitude and esteem by making sure that our communities are good places in which to mature and grow older, places in which older people can participate to the fullest and can find the engagement, acceptance, assistance, and services they need to continue to lead lives of independence and dignity. His words has withstood the test of time and are now over 30 years later more important than ever as older people are leading more productive lives. Reagan himself set an example for everyone. He was 69 years old when one of the world's most powerful tales of the President of the US was given to him on January 20, 1981. Reagan lived till the ripe old age at 93, and not only was he oldest person to be elected president, he was also the oldest when his term ended at 77 years and 349 days. According to US Census Bureau, approximately 78 million people aged and older will reside in America by 2035. This figure will surpass the number of population under the age of 18 for the first time in nation's history. Today is also commemorated as National Spumoni Day in US, which is celebrated on August 21st every year to honor the Italian ice cream treat that incorporates cream, fruit, and nuts. On National Spumoni Day and in general, scooping spumoni is considered bad taste and it's vital to slice it. Its origins in Naples have taken it on a lengthy cultural and geographical journey, and it is today more commonly consumed and enjoyed in the United States and Argentina than in Naples. Flavored gelato used to be layered into 3 layers and then molded into a dessert. The confection is frequently coated with a chocolate coating in addition to the candied fruits and nuts. The three most well-known flavors of this ice cream are popularly chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. This is the type of spumoni that has become increasingly popular in the US. Throughout Europe, Italian spumoni remained popular and a variety of flavor combination grew popular. The pistachio, chocolate, and cherry ice cream is known as spumoni in the United States, whereas vanilla, chocolate, and berry ice cream is known as Italian ice cream. In the United States, however, most spumoni contain a cherry layer with cherry bits, a pistachio ice cream layer, and a chocolate layer. Hazelnut, vanilla, strawberry, and pineapple are just a handful of other flavors available. Today is also commemorated as Ninoy Aquino Day, which is an important day in Filipino history, marking August 21st as Ninoy Aquino Day, created in 2004. This day forever commemorates the life and legacy of a beloved hero of freedom. The Filipinos remember the ultimate sacrifice and the Ninoy Aquino made for the people of the Philippines. Senator Benigno Ninoy Aquino Jr. was an influential and inspirational Filipino political figure who fought for independence and a free democracy. After serving prison time for his opposition to the President Federal Marcos Aquino, who had gone into exile upon his release, planned on re-entering Filipino politics. Tragically, he was assassinated upon returning to the islands in 1983. Today, Filipinos remember Aquino's famous words: "The Filipino is worth dying for." So, with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in today's commemorations and celebrations. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. So, see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.